we saw the videos as well. The agenda for today is to complete the rest of the training, and we will look at some more tests and how they are getting conducted and the materials and the setup. And then we will have a quick introduction about the REDCap system, which is the system.
Screen recording.
Let me mute everyone and unmute you.
Siti, I will ask you to mute yourself, please. Yeah, thank you.
First,
I think now everyone is on mute, sir. We can mute everyone actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so the agenda for today's training is to look at other tests that we missed on the last training, and also discuss about the 3D.
What?
Oh, okay. Okay, muted.
Muted. Thank you, sir. So I think we can begin with our presentation now. We already have 20 participants, sir. So shall we?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I was just saying that we will test, and then we will be having a quick introduction regarding the REDCap system, which is the system where we all need to enter the data once we have collected it. And then we'll have a quick Q&A session as well.
Kame, you are the host now, so you could also do the mute thing.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so let's begin. This is where we left in the last training. I would like to continue a few tests, and we have also videos related to those. So let's start with the test 14, which is the proprioception of the joint position test. This test, it aims to assess the child's ability to replicate the joint positions. So the prop JP test items, they are scored by recording the number of centimeter of difference between the child's joint positions, which are measured by comparing the placement of one time to the next time, or between two hands. So materials required are the prop JP examiner test sheet. There are JP forms, prop JP forms. There are 4 set of forms. One is the one hand trial form, 1 foot trial form, 1 hand test form, and 1 foot test form. So the trial forms of both hand and foot, they can be printed on the A4 size, and you can get them laminated, and you can use the permanent marker or the mark, not the permanent marker, the marker or a sketch pen, which you can erase later for further use with other children. For the test form, both the hand and the foot, there are 2 sets. One which can be printed on A4. There will be 2 forms which you can tape them after getting printed, or you can directly print the A3 size one in both the hand test form and the foot test form. Also, we would need a zone card, which is again printed on 2 A4 cardstock papers. And also we would need some blank letter size papers, A4 papers. We would also need, we can use sketch pens in this case, wherein we have to ask the child to use both hands simultaneously to mark the position. So we would need 5 different colors, but 2 of each color. Also, we will need file folder sheets. So for the setup and the preparation, I think we will just quickly look at the videos where you will see that the 3 types of tests that we will be doing. These are the hand trial form, and above on the table runner, we have the hand test form. So I have printed it in A4 and then laminated it, and then I have taped them together. This is the feet trial form. Also, there is file folder sheet. And again, on the runner, you can see the feet test form, which I have printed on 2 A4 sheets and then again laminated it. This is the zone card form. Okay, now let's look at the video and see the test, how we have to conduct it. Now I'm going to take you in a station star. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll go back to the home base. Now you return to the star on your own. Okay, got it? Now we'll go to some more stars. You cannot see. Okay? Keep your hand. Now let's go to star number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back to star number 1. Now we will do some more. Let's go to star number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back to star number 2. Let's go to now I will take your, you can keep your hand on. I will take your toes to some stars. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go back to the star. Let's try again. So now I will take your toes to the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back. Now go back to the star of your room. Now we ride in the dark. Okay? I'll take your toes to some star. Okay? Ready? Star number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go back to the star. So this is the feet items. There are 4 feet items. And the therapist has to mark every time just at the tip of the great toe. This is the trial going on for the both hands.
हाँ आज आमचा OTT प्रोग्राम होता संजय स्कूल संजय
Okay. Let's first try in the paint section. First try in the paint section. You should not be seen. So 5 colored marker for 5 different zones so that you can identify when you put the sheets back to back for scoring and measuring the difference. show it in the room section. Room section. All right. Okay, so moving on, next test we have is the test 15, which is the auditory localization test. In this, we aim to assess the child's ability to localize the sounds presented out of the child's line of vision. And the test items are scored as 1 or 0 for accuracy in identifying the correct location of the sound. Also, we need to note down the signs of hyper and hypo auditory sensory reactivity. Materials needed are the examiner test sheet, a clicker, which I already showed you in the last training. So this is a dog clicker. This we can use for the auditory sounds. Then the file folder shield, we have already seen that. Metal pen, acrylic stand for use to holding the shield, masking tape, and a standard testing table. For this test, I really don't have the video, so we will be moving on to the next test item. These are the materials which we need majorly. Okay. So test number 16 is the tactile perception localization. In this, we measure the ability to perceive the location of one or two tactile stimuli, which are applied to the fingers, hands, or forearms in pronated and supinated positions with vision occluded using about 1 ounce of pressure, around 1 ounce of pressure. So the child responses are scored for accuracy as well as for signs of hyper and hypotactile sensory reactivity. To read more about these signs, you can refer to the manual as well. Examiner test sheet is what we need. Then we also need a pencil which is marked at 1 centimeter. Many people have asked me how to do that, so I'll just show you quickly. Just take the pencil and then with a scale, measure 1 centimeter, and with a permanent marker, you can mark around here. So the purpose of this marking is if you have placed the stimulus here and the child does it here, the child shows it here, then you can quickly take a 1 centimeter placement. If the child's response is within the 1 centimeter of the stimulus that you presented, then we score it as 1. Otherwise, it is scored as 0. So that's the significance of marking the pencil. Again, we also need a shield, which is the folder style shield, as you will see in the video. So that's the shield and the acrylic frame, masking tape, a metal pen, and the tactile perception localization form. So the setup is that the examiner sits across the table from the child, but for the purpose of today's demonstration, I have made a video. I could not have that across the table setup here. So you will see a little difference there. That's why I'm just informing you about it. So when the child sits across the table, as you can see,
नहीं खाया.
the right hand items are just placed in front of the right hand, and the left hand is aligned with the left side items on the test sheet, so that the examiner doesn't confuses of where to give the stimulus. So they are just for the examiner to assist him in identifying the child's right and left sides. Let's now look at the video. I am going to touch you on your hands or arms, and you have to tell me where you felt. Okay? That's right. I touched you in one place this time. Now, touch here. That's right. I touched you in 2 places this time. Now you have to show me where you feel my touch without looking. Okay. Show me. Now turn your hand over. Some items are in supinated hand position. You need to ask the child to turn his hand before testing. Okay, so this was the tactile perception localization. Next in the test item is test 17, tactile perception designs. So in this test, we measure the ability to perceive and replicate a design which is drawn on the hand or the forearm in pronated and supinated positions, again with vision occluded, using about same 1 ounce of pressure. The direction and order of lines drawn is indicated on the test sheet itself for the examiner, and so that all the children feel the drawing in the same way. The examiner draws what the child drew for later scoring for accuracy. So in this test, you do not need to score, alongside. You can just draw what the child is drawing in the test sheet, and then you can score it later. The materials needed are the examiner test sheet, the tactile perception scoring guide, which you will need later for the scoring check when you do the scoring, and again a shield. The setup is very similar to the last test, that is test 16. So I will not repeat that. Let's look at the video to just quickly see the test. So now I'm going to draw with my finger on your hands, okay, or arms, and you draw the same thing. All right. That's correct. So I drew one line here. All right. Now draw this. Now I drew 2 lines here. Okay. So now you have to feel the drawings without looking. No, don't join. Now turn your hands over. Okay. So this was about the tactile perception designs. Next is tactile perception shapes. So this is the test where we need the 3D printed shapes. And the next one as well, test 19 and test 18, both need 3D printed. So in the tactile perception shapes, this test assesses the ability to match a shape which is felt in the preferred hand with the shapes seen. So matching the touch with the vision in part 1. In part 2, the test assesses the ability to match a shape felt in one hand with the shapes felt among a set of shapes with the other hand. So it is tactile to tactile matching. The test items are scored as 1 or 0 for accuracy in identifying the correct shape, and the time taken and the time it takes for child to respond is also recorded. And also we note down the signs of hyper or hypotactile sensory reactivity. The materials needed are the examiner test sheet, the part 1 child response form. Then there are 10 blue 3D printed part 1 trial and test item shapes, 15 black 3D printed part 1 trial and test response shapes, and 14 yellow 3D printed part 2 trial and test item shapes. Then also we need 17 green part 2 trial and test response shapes. We will see that in the videos. All the shapes are printed in different colors for the examiner to be able to quickly identify which set of shapes are we going to do. It is marked on the examiner test sheet as well. The materials needed are one small white magnetic board or a strip for part 1 trial, one medium-sized white magnetic board for part 1 test items, magnetic business cards, or a magnetic ruler can also be used for, placing the part 2 tiles. Also, we need a shield and bins and other tools for organizing the test items. Setup is that the examiner sits across the table from the child for both part 1 and part 2. So these are the 3D printed shapes in blue, green, yellow, and the black ones. This is set 3. Set 3, these are the hexagonal and flower and different designs. As you will see on the examiner test sheet, there is set 1 shape, set 2, and then set 3. All right, let's look at the video. This is the part 1.
Now we will play a matching game. Put this hand here. Here is a shape. Point to the one that is same here.
So two shapes are presented and the child is allowed to see in this one. This is the trial item so that the child understands the task.
Now, let's do some more without looking.
The black shapes are the only shapes that the child will see. So the therapist is organizing the shapes according to the test form. And also timing the child.
Which one is this?
This is the part 2.
Now we will feel the shapes with both hands. Feel this one. And find the same shape here. Pick them up so that you can feel it better. Now feel this one and find the same shape over here. Let's try another.
So now the test items begin.
Find this one over here.
Now, in the part 2, there are 3 sets. This is the change to response set 2. The magnetic ruler will now change to the response set 2 items. These are the response set 2 items, different shapes.
Uy, ako ay panang le.
All right. So there is also a set 3, which will be, I'll just go back. This is the set 3.
Last other. What is it?
This is the set 3 response items. I don't have a video for that. I have a raw video. We will see if we get time. I will show you that video as well. I don't have a final video for that. All right. So next is the tactile perception oral. For oral, again, this test aims to, you need the 3D printing, one thing, and then this test aims to assess the ability to match a shape which is felt in the mouth to the shapes which are seen on the response card. So for this, you will need to print 2 response cards. So this one is the trial response card, and this one is the test response card. You can place the response card in the acrylic frame, or you can present it to the child in front so that they can match. We would need the test and trial response forms, acrylic frame, 3D shapes, which will be secured to the top of water bottle caps. 1 trial and 11 test item shapes are there. Materials needed are 12 empty plastic water bottles जिनके ऊपर हम secure करेंगे. 12 small paper cups. You can put the paper cups over the water bottles to hide the shapes initially from the child. And then you can also mark on the paper cups the order of the shapes. Then we would need 2 6-pack cardboard carriers just to carry the water bottles with ease, and also plastic bin for holding the water bottles after the test administration, because this is an oral test, so you have to wash and disinfect each shape prior to next use. Setup is, it is easiest for the examiner to stand next to the child who is seated on the table. In the video that you will see, the examiner is seated in front for the ease. We will see that in the video, but it is generally easier to stand next to the child. The trial response form is placed in the acrylic frame with the test response form underneath it. We have to make sure that both the forms are printed on a thick sheet so that they do not show when you are placing them in the acrylic frame. Let's look at the video for the same.
Here is a shape on a bottle. Put it in your mouth and see if you can match it to the one of these pictures. I will help you hold the bottle to make sure it doesn't fall. Now, let's try another.
You have to ask the child to close the eyes when you are presenting the test items. Or you can blindfold them as well.
There is some information given to you. You need to hold that information for some time
and find it
to be able to
Here time is not noted, just accuracy is marked. Once the therapist has placed the bottle in the mouth, then the child can open the eye and look at the response card to mark the response. All right. So with this, we come to our last test, which is the sensory reactivity test. This test will assess the tendency for a child to demonstrate hypersensory reactivity or hyposensory reactivity to tactile, auditory, olfactory, and vestibular stimuli. It is important to note that the examiner should ask the parent before administering this test if the child is likely to be bothered by or affected by light touch to the face, recorded sounds, a variety of scents or motions. And we can just give the test sheet to the parent. We can show it to them to explain the items more fully. And if there is a likelihood of any adverse reactions that might be expected or any concerns about these type of stimuli, it is advised not to administer these test items and leave the items blank for missing data. We do not have to mark it on our own. We have to leave the items blank. The materials needed are the examiner test sheet, the sensory reactivity emoji response card form, cotton ball, essential oils. 5 types of essential oils are there, and except for the apple cider vinegar, which should be a genuine ACV without extra flavorings, and 2 child-sized chairs with backs, and the step stool. So these are needed for the gravity items later. Now let's look at the video of the sensory reactivity test. Okay, so now we are going to try some things that you can feel, hear, smell. And I want you to tell me what you think. You can say you like it, you do not like it, or you do not really care either way. It's okay. Now here is a sound. You can point to one of these pictures to show me how you feel about that sound, or you can just tell me. It's okay. Now we will do some more. Okay. Each time, point to the picture or just let me know how you feel. One thing I would like to add here, when you're marking the responses, you have to look at the child's face and his responses, actual responses. Emoji form is just a way to engage the child. Although you can very well, see if a child is not liking it, he will mark it, I don't like it only. But there are some kids who might not know, but you can see from their faces. So you have to observe the behaviors for hyperreactivity. It's okay. The sound files you can find it under the resource section in the Classy dashboard.
It's okay.
That's the apple cider with vinegar, cotton with apple cider vinegar. Can you step backwards of the steps too? Now you have to jump forward and with both feet and close your eyes. Now close your eyes and climb onto the chair. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Can you stand on the chair? You have to climb from this chair to this chair. All right. So with this, we have done all the tests. So before I tell you about the REDCap data entry system, let's take up some questions. If you guys have any about the materials or the, I'll just stop sharing my screen and let's open for questions.
So Kamya, from where we'll get these 3D printing shapes?
So there are certain 3D printers in India, but we have not yet, none of us actually have got any of the 3D printers verified. Although I have got requests from a few of the testers who wanted to get the 3D printing done, and from Mumbai and from other states, and they know of a few 3D printing people. So there is a whole process for that. The shapes that have been shown in the videos, that is one set which is available with Dr. Manish. If anybody who is in Delhi NCR can arrange to go there and share and take their child, that is one option. The other option is to identify 3D printing people in your area and then start the verification process. So for the verification of the 3D printer, there I can send you, those who are interested, I can send the email regarding the same. There are certain things which need to be provided to the 3D global team. And after you provide those details to the 3D global team, they will approve the printer and then they will approve if you can get the shapes printed.
Okay, so in case another 1 or 1.5 months, we will not able to arrange, then the other testing which we are able to do, so that will be in vain, it means, because the data will not be...
So the data you're entering for all other tests which are complete will be counted in the REDCap data entry. Even if 1 or 2 data or tests are missing for any child, there is a comment section which where you can mention why you were not able to do certain tests, and they will take into consideration that as well. But we are hoping that we will be able to cover, and if in case there are testers who are not able to do 3D printing, still the rest of the data will go to the normative data collection.
Okay, so that comment box we can write and we can leave the data blank in case if not arranged.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am?
And yes, tell me.
If 3D is difficult to arrange, can we just make this type of shapes through local carpenter, yeah, like material Ethaplex like this?
That I think, Durga Prasad ji, that is not approved by the global team, and I would not recommend that as well. But one thing that I talked to one of our testers, their nephew, he is in 3D printing. So I am hopeful that once we get their printers verified, then you can you can place your orders with the same, and they can courier you the shapes. Or another option is that testers, maybe 5 to 10 testers from one part of the country, maybe some in Mumbai, they can share the 3D printing, the 3D printed shapes. So these are a few options available for 3D printing. The one I am talking about, I will let you know in a few days' time. I can update on the WhatsApp group itself if we are able to verify one of the 3D printers in India in the coming 5 to 10 days.
Okay.
So my question, another Kamya, is why don't we place the order directly from US? Is it from US? Is it very much costly that every tester, if able to afford, and they can just give concessions over it because we are testing it as well?
That can be done. That can be done, and you can place directly. In fact, if anybody of you have any,
yeah, known to person are there who are about to fly from US.
Yes, that
where
can be
I
done.
have to. Okay.
It is not so what they tell is the whole the whole cost of everything with the test materials and everything included was about $100, which is around 6,000-7,000 rupees, including the 3D printing. So, and I think
Yes.
most of us have arranged all other material. It is just the 3D printing that is left. I can inquire about the same if any of us are
Yes.
willing to,
What I will propose you, like I am from Hyderabad, Priyanka Gupta, occupational therapist. So in case if you could speak to them, and I'm ready to buy it, my
Sure.
some of the relatives are ready to come, so I can at least we can share. If I can propose all the people who are in Hyderabad, we can share
Sure.
for testing.
Yeah, that would be a great help as well. And I will inquire about the same, and I'll get back to you.
Definitely, please. Thank you so much.
Sonam, you can just tell me your question. Unmute yourself and.
Ma'am, from where can we get the essential oils?
You can order all of these from Amazon. I have ordered from
Okay.
Amazon only.
And ma'am, what about the clicker? That is also available on.
That is also from Amazon, Amazon India.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions regarding the materials? I don't think we have any other questions coming up. Okay, so I would like all of you to switch on your videos. Let's have a quick interaction. And if all of you can just switch on your videos. The thing is, now we are at the stage where I will request all of you to start testing children for data collection. So I would like to know how many of you have already started doing the same. That's one of the things I'm interested. Has anybody started testing children? Any one of you?
Yeah, I have started, Priyanka Gupta again, but not for the testing kids. Basically, you told that 1 or 2 kids to whom you don't want to be like a sample kid. So
Just
that I have started. Just
Correct.
a candidate I have taken, my own son, because he is 11 years, 12 years. 11 months, 7 days. So he is not eligible. So I started with it. Yeah.
Okay, that is very good to know, because once you start practicing it on maybe adults or other children who are not in that age range, you will face certain challenges, you will find solutions.
Yes.
So
actually, the biggest
I
challenge
wanted to know
is
if
not
anybody-
able to do it with the speed. Like we have to maintain so many things: stopwatch, paper, C, command, and all that stuff. It's bit challenging.
Yes. Only when you practice it on 1 or 2 kids, you'll get that fluency of handling things going on. So I just want all of you for the next week or 10 days maybe, let's take this goal that all of us present here are gonna test children, maybe just for the practicing right now. And if any if you feel that you have at any point of time you are facing challenges, so you can send me a small video clip about the same, and I can just clarify there and then only. And have finished our lessons. So any difficulty with that part? Just a quick, I wanted to know. Has anyone faced challenges with the lessons itself? Anything that you could not understand? I think if you do it with manual lessons and test forms, everything gets on track. So I hope all of us are at the same page there, and we are able to understand the test fully, and materials. We are able to arrange the material except for the 3D, which is a challenge for now as well. But we will figure that out also. But I would, yes, I see a raise hand. Sonam, please.
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
me.
Like for the balance test on the ball. So, ma'am, if I have taken a boy who's 10-year-old and he's quite tall and his weight is also like around 45. So, in that case, how to take that test? Like if the weight of the child is
Sonam, if you saw my video,
Mhm.
Video which I showed, it was the same problem, and they have recommended a 65 centimeter ball as in that particular test, but I used an 85 centimeter ball for the same.
Okay.
And still I faced certain difficulty with the same.
Yes.
The boy had weight and I had to
And
test. So I think you can use a bigger size ball for that, and that's the only solution, because it is, yeah, that's a genuine concern.
okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Manisha, would you like to add words of inspiration for all our testers here?
I think this group now that we have, who has already taken the pain of doing the scoring lessons, would not like to waste their efforts at this stage of having the theory clear. And if we test children, we are ourselves getting a kit training to us. Our children being trained under us will give us a lot of confidence to test any children later on. What is only missing with us for easy scale to be completely owned by us is the normative scores, where you will actually compare your child who has special needs against the normative. So we are in a process where the normative data is going to be compiled by the international body. And like we all said, when we collect 5 data, we are all going to get an acknowledgement letter as well, which can definitely add to our profile as well as our genuine experience. It's not about a paper only. It will definitely add to our profile and experience of having tested, used, having the experience of developing a tool also. So I'm sure Easy is going a long way as a standardized tool. It is going to probably be the new gold standard, which earlier was SIPT, and it had its own limitations of costing, bulkiness, and everything. So this is going to be Easy is also a new normal for SI, and that is why we should be very happy that we are probably the pioneers who would have the information even before the scale is completely published. We will have the information, and as the Easy bodies say, that the scale and the kit that you have the right to use it for your entire lifetime. You own the scale. Probably you don't have to buy anything ever from anyhow. The intention was not to buy, but even if you have 3D materials with you, buy a 3D printer. Of course, it's a process of verification. Even if you get it from US, if you're getting it from a 3D printer of US, then also you will have to go through a verification process, like whether the printer, the material being used is verified or not. But I think there are a lot of gains from what we are doing now. We are putting in a lot of effort as well, but there's a lot of gains in terms of our India thing, our personal name being attached to the scale, but also about the professional experience and professional knowledge of using a gold standard in SI, which you will, there's no reason why you will not continue to use this beyond those 5 children on your clinical population, on your on children who have difficulties. So we will anyhow continue to do that. The only thing is we'll have to wait for the normative scores that are yet to be compiled at the international level. And India will have its own norms probably, or Asia will have its own norms. And nobody would be able to say that we are comparing it against US children. That's the whole thing. But of course, the scale is going to be there. The other thing is they are going to include EASI as a scale, as a part of the SI certification as well. Or they have almost, I have already received an email that it's already a part of the certification program. So someone who has a knowledge of the scale, even if they have or they have not done certification, have some information on how the certification people are teaching the assessment. So I think there is a lot of gains out of this.
Okay. So, sir, there are the testers that are present today. Some of them have been enrolled in REDCap, and there are many who have just completed the scoring lessons and are not yet enrolled. So I just wanted to just quickly show, how to do the same, although they are not yet enrolled, and I'll be sending now their names once, they have completed the lessons. So we'll just do a very quick introduction to data entry. All right.
Sure. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I'll share the screen for the same. So that's the main page for the REDCap. That's a separate, separate system other than the Classy. Once you put your username and password, here what we need is, this is a 2-step login. So I will ask for the email verification and I'll put my code once I get. It just takes a minute or two for the email verification.
I hope everybody is aware that the deadline is 31st December, which means the deadline for entering data in the REDCap. After you collect data on children, you can note it down on the paper also on the scoring sheets, but to generate put it in finally in the REDCap, the deadline is 31st December. I don't think they're going to extend it even for 24 hours. Whatever is there on REDCap on 31st December is there, and after that it will not be it will not be available for more entries. So we should be I think the recommendation is to start testing children from tomorrow itself. Whatever test you are confident in, or you have children around you, neighborhood. But as you would remember that you cannot use even siblings of children who have difficulties or developmental problems. You cannot use even their normal, regular siblings as well.
Okay, so I got my second password from the email. Now this is because I've already logged into Easy. Once you have, so this is my project Easy. Here, data collection India. So we can go by country to see. I will show you. So this is by country. Our country code is 50 and this is the subject ID. Subject ID is assigned as soon as you add new record into the system. All right. So this is a brief. So these are the two data that I've already put. Okay. So this is, we are seeing by country. So the total number of data that has been put are around 34 only. So we need to really hurry up and start collecting data and start entering data. into the REDCap. So the important thing here is just to note that you have to really remember the subject IDs when you have added a new record, and that ID should be put across on all your 20 test sheets on the scoring sheets that you have in print, so that you do not mix up the data. Correct? One important thing. And let's see the next thing. This is the record status dashboard. Now we are going to the record status dashboard. Here you can see all the tests, and there is a gray. The gray means that none of the data has been entered. Green means the data has been entered and is complete. So I will take you to my subjects and just show you briefly there. So this is the family life impact questionnaire, which I have already filled and submitted. So the subject ID is 5023. Okay. We do not read a record ID, and this is already complete, as you can see. So this I got from the parent of the kid. I got it filled on the form itself. And then as the parent has marked, this is coming in some other language. We can change the language from here, and I will show you. We have to go in English. Okay. So the date of testing, person completing questionnaire, and this questionnaire you have already sent and got filled. Flick. Remember, I told you in my last training that this is also one of the questionnaire that we need to complete along with the 20 tests. So you just keep entering the data. I am not gonna change anything here because I've already entered the data. It will just, and then once you have entered the whole thing, you can mark it complete and save and exit the form. That's it. Your first Flick questionnaire is done. When for the same subject, if you want to enter data for something else, some other, so I will show you a quick view of tactile perception. I will not save it, just so once you have tested with the kid, whatever the accuracy is, 0, 1, mark it. Was the child hyper or hypo? Yes or no, mark it. All right. And then you keep going on and on and on. This scoring you should have already done on your scoring sheet before you start entering it into the REDCap. So this has to be scoring done, ready on the printed sheet, and then you enter the data into the system. Because it is incomplete, I'll just cancel here. All right. So this way we can go to any test that we have already done for the child. For some of the tests that are still remaining, you can, enter the data at a later point in time also. All right. So to add a record, just go to the data collection, add record here. And then if you want to add record for the same subject, you can select your subject here. That's why it is really important to remember which subject ID has been assigned to which of your child. Okay. And if you're just adding new record, just click the add button here. This is subject ID 5035 now. And then you can do the basic demography form and, complete it further. So we also have a REDCap mobile app, but I would not recommend you to use the mobile app. I have done the whole process. It really does not upload the data that, completely. So it is preferable to use the laptop and this system to enter the data into the REDCap. That's it about a quick introduction to the REDCap. I think I'll stop it here.
I think regarding the REDCap, everybody has to remember it's a little complicated system. We are okay to kind of have one more training, especially on REDCap. Once we have progressed further with our actual testing of children, recording the data on paper, it is also possible that if you do not use REDCap dashboard application properly, you might end up deleting somebody else's data. It is also possible that you are entering data into somebody else's incomplete data. So REDCap is not a very easy or simple looking kind of a system. Let's focus first on children. Do not do experiments on REDCap, because I have had experience before pandemic where we received emails from the international body saying that something is going on in your in the India REDCap, especially because what happened is somebody entered even the real name of the child. Somebody entered the real name, somebody entered data in somebody else's incomplete data, or somebody else's their email ID in data of someone else. That also happened, instead of this that showing details of the therapist who actually tested, it shows. And then they did some changes also, they did some upgradation, because ideally it should not allow, all these things should not be allowed from one user to another if we all have a unique user ID and password. Initially, I thought that the user who is having his own unique ID and password for REDCap, as generated by the two-step verification, would not be even able to see somebody else's data. But that is not how it is. As you can see, there's a whole list of data that you are able to see country-wise. I mean, ideally, it should be that only the international body should be able to see what entire country is doing. However, we all should focus on only our set of data. But REDCap, I feel, is very tricky. Is a little tricky. Not every systems are perfect systems. It's a huge, very big project, I think, which is running in more than 100 countries at the same time. So it's not that easy to kind of make sure that small nuances are taken care. So having said that, do not do experiments on REDCap. Kamya is here, I am here, and we will all take you through it once you enter your data into the scoring sheets. So essential now is to focus on children, have the paper sheets in your hand and enter data in your paper sheets first. uh, Remember that you need to put the name of yourself, your child's name, because sometimes the papers just get mixed up between one child and the other one. So remember that thing as well. And do not think that, what, I don't have 5 children, I have only one, so let me not even do one, because there's no point, I will not be able to complete 5. Don't think that ways. Start with one child, let's see where does it go. Even if it goes to 5 or 4, or that we will see whether it includes 3D, does not include 3D, is not the whole point. The easy 3D is only 2 tests. There are 20 tests. We need to focus on the 18 other ones as well. So in that ways, I would say, I think the REDCap looks a little too much because there are too many things in the same site. So don't worry about REDCap, I would say to everyone. There is still time for REDCap, and we will be there to kind of ensure we can do a screen share and let you know how to enter and all. First is to look at the children. For those who are not even enrolled for REDCap, don't worry about it. It is a process, and we will get you enrolled for the REDCap as well. Yeah, Kamya, you were concluding. Yes.
Yes, sir. I think that was what was there in our today's agenda. So we can conclude the session here. If there are any other questions, I can take that up. We are here for the next 2-3 more minutes. Else we can just conclude today's session.
Again, one more question from my end, Kamya. So, those who have enrolled, so they get any kind of link from the REDCap where we have to go and just see, yes, or so any kind of webs? Yeah.
There will be one email. If you're already enrolled, there will be one email from for REDCap, entry into the REDCap or enrollment into the REDCap from MLeo. You can just check your email for the same. Maybe you were enrolled earlier and you got that email. Once you find that email in your email inbox, then you have to use that link to start the first login into the REDCap. Then you change your password and set a recovery question into the REDCap system. Once that is done, you can change your password, and then after you have done all that, whenever you log into the REDCap system, you will put your user ID, your password, and then there will be another, the 2-step which I did just now. You will do that, and then you will find you enter into the REDCap. So but first step is you have to find your email inbox for the email from MLEO into, enrollment into the REDCap system under Project Easy. That's the prelim.
Okay. We'll try. Thank you.
So I think we have no more questions. So
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kamya.
Welcome.
Okay. All the best, all of you, to test.
Yes, all the best, all of you. And please start collecting and testing children and collecting data.
Thank you.
And get back to me if you have any concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Manish sir. And thank you, Kamya.
The kid, whatever pics you can send us, it would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, Kamya. So we should close.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.